Hey guys, this is Tauna, and today we're going to go over a whole bunch of commander staples you can pick up right now that have gone down in price. These ones have plummeted down. Some of them are absolutely way cheaper than we've seen in quite a while, and there is a huge amount of really great reprints here. A lot of them are going to fit into a whole bunch of different decks, and as I said, there's some banger prices on here, better than a whole bunch of different, Amazon Prime Day sales, so you're better off kind of purchasing these as singles instead. Now, if you guys are wanting to support the channel, you can either become a member, and that's going to support me and help, keep the dream alive, or you can go ahead over to Quokka, purchase a gamepad there, use the code TAUNA, and you're going to get 10% off, and it's going to give me a little bit of kickback from that too. So let's go to the first one here, Damning Verdict. An amazing board wipe that is potentially going to just keep your creatures around but wipe everyone else's. It destroys all creatures without counters on them. This is the first reprint we've seen of this ever, I believe. And yeah, the current price of it is so much cheaper than the next closest because this is just a huge, potentially one-sided board wipe. You get to keep all your stuff. Everyone else's stuff is gone. It is absolutely bonkers great. We've got Clever Concealment, a great kind of pseudo Teferi's protection for your creatures, but you can also convoke to make it cheaper as well. This is great because it just, protects your whole board. But the best part about it is that, the art. Like, look at this art. Who did not want to see Cloud here in dressed up as a chick to infiltrate? It's great. The next closest is obviously pretty close in price, but I think the actual art is driving up this one more so than it being an amazing card. But both things are true, but still, it's still a great kind of reprint to pick up while it is here, because I doubt we'll see a reprint for it for a while. We've got Firelit Thicket. One of the filter lands hasn't been reprinted in ages, and thus is like a third of the price currently, and the same with the Sunken Ruins here. I believe the previous price of this one was $25 or something, so definitely worth picking up both of those if you've got a Dimir or a Gruul deck, or Dimir Plus, etc. We've got Skull Clamp, has been reprinted a number of times recently, so therefore the price of it is pretty cheap. So, I haven't included the next recent because the next recent was like around the same price because it was just reprinted within Tarkir. Expectedly, this will go back up if we stop seeing reprints for it, but currently, live in the Skull Clamp dream. We've got the Scholar of New Horizons. Hasn't been reprinted since, I believe it's initial printing within the Brotherhood Commander decks. And it's a great card to pick up as well. Any kind of, card that's going to have counters on it, any deck that has counters on it, it's going to make use of it, going to be able to either tutor you upper planes or tutor upper planes onto the battlefield. It's great. We've got Rise of the Dark Realms, again, reprinted a whole bunch recently. Definitely kind of worth picking up a Rise of the Dark Realms if you haven't got some. Any kind of, mill deck, milling everyone deck's going to make use of it. Any deck that you can kind of make use of it after a board wipe as well is great. Just, make use of being able to just reanimate everything. And it's amazing art as well as amazing, flavor text here too. We've got Ruinous Ultimatum, again, reprinted a couple times recently within the Fallout decks, within this, within the Final Fantasy deck, and also within the actual Dragon Storm, main set too. And, good kind of, one-sided board wipe there for wow, my brain is completely breaking. Mardu deck. We've got the Hellkite Tyrant. Great reprint. Great use for any artifact-based deck. We obviously have the new Knuckles coming out soon that does a very similar thing. And, if you want to build a Knuckles deck, Hellkite Tyrant being in it is definitely a great opportunity to kind of, get more artifacts out, steal artifacts from everyone, etc. We've got the Bronze Guardian getting reprinted here as well. A great kind of deck for any artifact, creature-based deck as well, in my opinion. We've got the Conqueror's Flail getting reprinted. Again, great for any kind of Voltron-ish kind of deck. We've got Darksteel Plate. Hasn't gone down too much in price, but also I'm not sure if they'll reprint it again for a little bit. So save that $2 while you can. We've got Resourceful Defense. This is actually, I think this is almost the best one, right? Because I don't think a lot of people kind of, I don't know, this is essentially like an Ozolith light. It's not quite as great as Ozolith, but it also works with all counters, but you can also pay to move the counters around, which is good. I don't know. Personally, I'm a huge fan of this, and seeing a reprint for it here was great, and definitely kind of, if you can pick some up for like that $2 mark, $2 mark, definitely worth grabbing. Got Archmage Eremeritus, got reprinted a couple times recently within the Tarkir, Dragonstorm commander decks, and within obviously the Final Fantasy one as well. Any Spellslinger deck will make use of it. We've got Archomage's Map, a great kind of, planes tutor. Allows you to also be able to just cheat cards out, like cheat lands out from your hand as well. And they don't come in tapped either, which is good. Yeah, well, and it's going to happen on potentially each person's other turn, especially if you've got like a mono white deck or any kind of white deck that doesn't have green in it where you're not kind of ramping up. If other people are ramping, this just lets you kind of cheat out lands, which is great. We've got Gix, got reprinted within the commander for Dragonstorm, and again, still relatively cheap, so worth grabbing. We've got Obnixilis, again, within the Dragonstorm commander, definitely worth picking up one if you wanted to kind of build a black landfall deck. For example, the upcoming decks for Edge of Eternities, there's going to be a black landfall deck, the Jund one there. Definitely worth having this for that. I'm thinking about doing a video on cards to pick up before those decks. Let me know if you'd be interested in that. We've got Hellkite Corsair, just lets you cheat out your commander onto the battlefield. My wife used this when she was playing her Urani deck, and yeah, it was great because my friend removed Urani, not before the trigger went onto the stack. So the trigger went onto the stack. She cheated this out. Immediately, Urani comes back in. And then they have the second combat as well from something. So yeah, it was absolutely hilarious. We had Noggy, Draco, Zealot as well. Dragon spells cost one less. Hasn't been reprinted since the game box, I think it was. So the reprint within the Dragonstorm commander brought that price down a whole bunch. And definitely a great card to have. Grand Crescendo, still pretty cheap. Still allows you to be able to make everything indestructible or be able to create more tokens as well. Life from the Loam, still pretty cheap as well. Reprinted within Dragonstorm Commander and reprinted within Ravnica Remastered. So definitely, a card to keep an eye out for. We've got Hedron Crab. If you're building a mill-based deck, whether you're milling yourself or milling opponents, definitely worth having one of these. Cecil Harvey. So this is Timna the Weaver. I think this is probably the biggest discounted card on here. It's gone from $42 down to $12 currently. You can pick up a Cecil. If you are looking to build a CEDH deck around Timna, then this is definitely the cheapest version that you're going to be able to get her for. And yeah, like a great card overall, an amazing card overall. It's, I think, just the art being not people's favorite is why it's so cheap. And the fact that it hasn't been reprinted in ages. So this is the first reprint for quite a while, if ever. We've got Orphan Cocoon Falsey, which is actually Muldrotha. Muldrotha got reprinted here and within Foundations Commander. It's still down there at the $2.58 $2.58 mark, but I expect it to go back up. I don't know if we'll get a reprint from Muldrotha again for a little bit, so definitely kind of worth looking at if you are building a deck that's Sultai graveyard play. We've got Bart's Clouser here, which is actually Winota, joiner of forces. Again, another CEDH amazing commander there, costing a third of the price currently, so worth looking at if you want to pick it up. Brainstorm currently below $1. Yeah, I don't know. Brainstorm is such a great card in so many different decks that the fact that it's below $1, I definitely think you should look at picking it up. We've got Dovin's Veto again, an amazing counter spell. This one can't be countered, so definitely kind of worth looking at, picking up one. And then that's all. So I'd love to hear from you guys as to what you think. I hope you guys had a wonderful day, and goodbye.